Hi everyone, thank you for joining in. We'll get started in another minute. We're just waiting for a couple of more folks to join it on the waiting list. All right, thank you so much everyone for joining in. Hello and good evening to one and all who have joined us today here for this session. A very warm welcome to the fourth masterclass session of ONDC Presents Build for Bharat. The initiative is supported by Startup India, sponsored by industry leaders such as Google Cloud, Protean, Antler, and Paytm, and powered by Hacker. My name is Shakti Singh, and I am your program manager at Hacker team. I'll be your host for the day. So before we head towards the second the day and how does it look like the overall session, so what are we going to cover? So we're going to take forward in today's masterclass session and cover the next gen ventures problem statements. So we'll have our esteemed speakers who are coming in from Antler So they're going to help us explain each problem statement, what are the right expectations, and what is the expectation in terms of solutions that you're going to put across for this overall initiative. And therefore, post that explanations and everything, we deep dive more into the insights. So we have a Q&A session, which is open mic. So meanwhile, if you throughout the session, you also have questions, feel free to post them in the chat section. We'll pick it up from there randomly. And therefore, ask our esteemed speaker to answer all of those as well. But at the end, we'll open up mics. You can raise hands. We can open up chats. We can open up conversations ahead. But till then, I would just request everyone to be on mute. And if you have any questions, put it on the chat. So now that we are covering a lot of topics under Resident Ventures, so make sure that while you put across your questions, you mention the problem statement name as well, so that it's well defined that you're asking a particular question about a particular problem statement, right? So without any further ado, I would just like to help you that the overall Next Gen Ventures segment for the Build for Bharat is only and only for professional entrepreneurs and startup folks. So this overall field does not allow students to participate. So this is only for professionals, entrepreneurs, and startups who can bring in innovative ideas throughout the session altogether. So without any further ado, we have our two esteemed speakers of the day. So I would just like to welcome on the stage and uh, allow us both the speakers to be here with us. So we first and foremost we have with us Sushmit Patodia. He is the capital director at Antler, India. He started his career with Accenture Management Consultant, after which he spent the last decade with Motilal Oswal, one of India's premier financial service company. He has held various leadership positions in Motilal from heading institutional equity sales business to portfolio management at the asset management company. We welcome you, Sushmit, to the overall session today. Thank you for coming and joining us.
Thank you, Shakti. Great to be here. It's super exciting to see 85 people already logged in.
Awesome. We are really excited to have you with us as well. We also have our second speaker of the day, Ritik. Ritik works as an investment associate with Antler India. He focuses on investment, especially around DPI and fintech. He builds thesis and identifies trends in market performance due to diligence on companies and makes investment recommendations for the funds. Prior to Antler, he worked in TMT, which is Tech Media Telecom division of Bell and Co., where he mostly worked with big telco giants in US and Europe. So it's a pleasure to have both of you with us today, both Ritik and Sushmit. So it just means that's not about it. I truly believe it's just what I can read through. It's just but I cannot deep dive into your overall experience. Would love to hear from both of you. Maybe anybody of you can shoot first. So let's just begin with Sushmit and then Ritik, you can add on to that.
So thanks, Shakti.
Super. So, I mean, I'll not talk. I'm pretty old, so I can talk a lot about my experience. We only have 1.5 hours, so let's not bore you with that. But let me quickly summarize our journey with ONDC. We started this about now 14 months ago, and our thesis is that India is a low gross margin country. 85% of India's SMEs make less than 30% gross margin. Platform economy is not the way to digitize them or digitize their commerce. Because as you know, platforms take rate is 25%. There is no way SMEs can come on digital commerce using platform economics. Platform economics works very well in a few sectors which have high gross margins, but don't work very well in other sectors in India. That was really our, ground zero, as you can call it, when we kind of crystallized that thought and we went deep into ONDC. Thanks in equal proportion to everyone. We also, Ritik and team also build out this entire website aimed at founders. It's called buildonondc.com. All the resources you see there is actually, again, we spearheaded along with part of ONDC. and backend. So that's we are very excited about what ONDC can do for our country, and we believe that this has the potential to create 80 to 100 unicorns in the coming decade. Primarily because it actually enables commerce. Payments, as you all know, we always think about how do we monetize payments. While commerce is an automatic monetization, right? So you don't have to worry about getting paid. If you enable business for any SME or any corporate for that matter, they will pay you. Whether it's 1% or 30%, that's is what we have to figure out. So really, that's the whole journey that we have gone through. We've been very fortunate to have support of our Antler India parent and our global team. We actually had our Antler Global founder, Mr. Magnus, come down for the launch of our Antler VC event. So we are all in into this. We're just waiting for founders, some of you to go all in as well, so that we can help you. We have also we are I mean not much to say, but we are the leading VCs investing in startups building on ONDC. That entire number is 5, and we are number 1. So long way to go, but more than happy to partner with as many founders as we can. Yeah, that's short. I should also humbly submit that I'm one of those spokespersons, while Ritik does all the hard work, the engine work. He's the brains and the mouth. So if you want level 2, level 3 detailing, that's with Ritik. And if you want
Well, thank you much everyone joining. Super excited to have you guys here. As Sushmit said, I think I'll just say something around ONDC as well, where that of digital public infrastructure over these last decade. We have all seen how Aadhaar, UPI, so yeah, very excited about DPI in general and very ONDC. Very specific to Antler. So we are a global early stage venture fund which started in Singapore 6 years ago. Now we have crossed 1,000 investments in these last 6 years. We invest across all kind of startups from commerce, fintech, SaaS, space tech, deep tech, AI, healthcare, consumers, so all kind of startups. In the India fund, we have done 50 investments in these last 3 years since we launched our operations in India. It's a team of 20 people in Bangalore. We are very always excited to meet early stage founders and help them in any way possible. We'll also probably talk about our residency sometime during the session, but that's probably the introduction I wanted to give to you guys about Antler.
great, Shakti, that's us. Back to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that quick introduction there. Without any further ado, let's just quickly move ahead with the session today. So we are going to cover all of these topics under Next Gen Ventures, and as stated, Sushmit and Ritik will help us cover all of these one after another. So both of you can take it forward from here, and you let me know. You cue me, and I can, with the slides and everything. Yeah, awesome.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Shakti. So let's dive into the working bit of their talk. So, as you know about Bharat, Build for Bharat is kind of a hackathon and a startup program that ONDC, Google, Antler, Protein, KTM have come together, helped by H2S. Now, what we want to do here is what we've realized is 2 or 3 players cannot solve for everything that is required to make ONDC successful. Right? It's like, think about it like internet. Right? Imagine if only Microsoft or Yahoo was in charge of developing the whole internet, we would not be where we are today with internet. So that's really how we think about why we need more and more founders to help with ONDC. Uh, and at the core of it, as Ritik very nicely put it, ONDC is decentralized, disaggregated. So everybody can be super efficient in one of the small things that the chain allows you to do. So, this is not any reflection of what are the biggest problems or what are the most urgent problems. This is a reflection of what we think is at least $1 billion opportunity for founders to build in, right? Obviously, this is not exhaustive. This is just the first 7. We believe that we can do multiple iterations of these, and we will still not be finished, right? Like internet is still iterating after nearly 40 years. So that's the background. Don't think of this as a line in the sand. This is just the beginning here. Cool. So let's start with the first one. These are the 7 problem statements available for next-gen ventures. Before we dive into the problem statements, I think Ritik had a good idea of putting a very simple motivational thing right up front, which is why should you do this, right? Firstly, you will get a direct interview,
which is a 3-month intense program to help you go from 0 to 1. As a founder, we have 20 people, as Ritik said, at Antler in India, and about 300 people all over the world. These 20 people will be committed to you during the 3-month period to help you go from 0 to 1. Apart from that, we will have a 100 people cohort, which means you will have not only you, but 100 other people who are all founders trying to build something. You have a fast track into the IC. Once you pass the IC, you get 2 crore rupees for a 9% stake, right? Approximately, just to give you a perspective, we get about 3,000 applications for every cohort. 100 of them get into the program. About 10 to 12 of them get funding, right? So very, very selective cohort. But once you get into the cohort, it's a very high probability that you get funding. The second aspect is, for Build for Bharat, we will actually be having a demo day where we will help all the teams, irrespective of whether they get into the cohort or not, all the teams with pitch mentorship, right? Which is how do we pitch, what are the things we should look for. We have Ritik and another member of our team who are experts on that, who will take you through that. It's kind of a small training module, but it's very, very helpful. What is the real prize money or what is the real moolah? ONDC will give you 40K or 30 lakh rupees USD grant, equity-free grant upfront, which is probably one of the biggest prizes out there in India to build on anything. So this is a non-equity grant, 30 lakh rupees that you will get for the winners to start building on. Apart from that, Google Clouds is also chipping in. They have promised for every team that gets formed and a company gets formed, they will give Google Cloud credits of 100,000 US. So as you could imagine that if you're serious about this and you put in the effort, it is worth it, right? Because you effectively get 150K of equity-free grant, and you get a chance to get funding from Antler, right? The other thing about Antler is we actually we will remain with you, or we will fund you till Series A, not the first check alone. That's the way our fund is structured in India, right? So we are a long-term partner. That's the price. Can we go to the next slide? Cool. So what we will now do is, these are 7 problem statements. I will cover 3 of them, and Ritik will come in for the last 4. This is just an overview. Any questions you have, all the details are on the website, but happy to take any questions that you need, that you have regarding these. As you could see, and one more quick thing, these are a little more broad-based. We don't want it to make them very, very narrow. We don't want to tell you what to do. We want to tell you what we want this problem to be solved, right? That's the broad approach that we have taken. So the first thing is reverse logistics. As you know, in any e-commerce transaction, uh, there is an element of reverse logistics that plays, right? In some categories, it's very high, like fashion. In some categories, like restaurants, it's very low, right? But different categories have different reverse logistics problem. Uh, we would want you to think about how do we work towards solving for three things. Number one, ensure that buyers don't engage in fraudulent product swaps, right? Uh, Number one. Number two, uh, when in as you would intuitively understand that in ONDC there is no centralized accountability. So how do you solve for that? And number three is how do you authenticate the return, right? So I hope if you were to just think about reverse logistics and break it down, you now need to build a solution and then a company that can solve this problem on an open protocol. Next, please. Shakti, can we move to the next one? Thank you. Last mile hyperlocal. This is fairly simple, which is one of the challenges with digitizing hyper local commerce is logistics cost. Right now, the current logistics cost is approximately 50 rupees per 5 kilometers, and this contains pick up, drop, everything. Right now, we believe that ONDC being an open protocol and open network, there is an opportunity to bring this down substantially by clubbing multiple deliveries or multiple forms of deliveries into the same delivery rider, right? So if I am, for example, if I am a Swiggy rider or a Zomato rider, I only do restaurants today. But with an open network, can you imagine this differently? And our, big, hairy, audacious goal is that can you cut this 50 rupees down to 25 rupees, right? I mean, this is again, you can say our limitation, our imagination is limited by our own thinking. If you can come up with a solution for 10 rupees, why not, right? So, but basically the open network allows you to think very differently from a driver productivity perspective. And as you know, driver productivity increases, delivery cost reduces. Next slide, please. Onboarding sellers and digitizing catalog. This is again, very, very simply, if I were to give a high level single line answer, but a single line thought process for it is, how do we create a QR code moment for ONDC, right? Which is, as you know, UPI really took off because a very simple QR code could be installed at a coconut seller, and that's it, right? He or she gets onboarded to digital payment world. Similarly, how do we think about onboarding sellers and also digitizing their catalog in a very, very quick manner, right? Today, it sometimes takes days, sometimes even weeks. How do we bring this down to hours, right? And we believe this could be actually done in minutes, right? So how do you onboard a seller? Now, what does an onboarding a seller means? Registration, KYC check, catalog, all those, right? I mean, you can imagine what digitizing a seller means. How can you do that quickly, right? That's the third problem that, and we believe this is a massive problem in India, right? Massive. Primarily because when we say 93% of commerce is not digitized, it basically means that they have a digital catalog, but which is not really dynamic, it's not updated, and stuff like that. Right? The other important thing which I would like for you to think about is today we have about 6 crore enterprises in India, 2 crore pay GST, right? Which means that 2 crore people are electronically filing returns, or they're doing business electronically, right? Which is a big change in India from, let's say, 4 years ago or 5 years ago, right? The question always is to ask is how many businesses really do commerce digitally? According to us at Antler, if somebody is paying GST, they are kind of almost doing commerce digitally as well, or they are at least digitally amenable to do commerce. So that's the third. I'll hand it over to Ritik for the remaining four.
Cool. Thanks, Ushma. Yeah. Fourth one is the order management and inventory management, and this is very specifically for grocery. So one of the things that I think we had a discussion with ONDC, and we realized that Kirana stores are obviously one of the biggest backbones of Indian retail commerce. We have around 15 million Kirana stores in India, and that's one of the biggest places which is still very much undigitized. So the focus is that can someone come and solve this problem on ONDC, where they can create a mobile first order and inventory management system for Kirana stores, and it should be focused on the problems that these Kirana stores faces, which is, let's say, they sometimes face issues around internet connectivity. They are not tech savvy, hence they need vernacular support. Sometimes they don't even know how to use the app properly, so they need voice control, and it should be basically easy to use. So all these things are something which is very important to really get those kiranas digital, and that's the core focus with which we would want people to innovate on. And that innovation is what we feel that personally more likely to happen on a decentralized network like ONDC. Shall we move to the next one, please? Now, this one is more generic in the sense that it is providing a personalized experience to customers. Now, this could be across any kind of commerce categories. So, the idea is that with this problem statement, the focus is going to be around that how do uh, buyer apps or buyer focused TSPs create a better personalized experience for customers, which was not yet possible as of now, which could be not just be around better use of data and providing recommendations, but it also is about creating bundles and bunch of services and combining them together uh, through the power of an open network. So the idea is to focus a lot on creating a personalized experience for customers in their buying journey across relevant categories, and it should obviously, in the long run or in the future, should be able to match or even be better than the experience which is already available on the current platformized approach. Shakti, can we move to the next one, please? Yeah, the next one is obviously a very important one, which is uh, at least in our heads, the way that we look at the decentralized approach, that the right to data is something which the companies are going to get back, which was not available at platforms. So data as a service is something which is going to be a very critical piece for creating and delivering value on an open network. So the idea is that teams or founders should focus on providing this observability as a service on the network, where they need to focus on these pillars, which is around a very secure data exchange. It should be able to provide actionable insights, and it is scalable at a very mass volume level, assuming how ONDC will pan out in the future. But we are very excited about seeing this play out in the future. And the last one, Shakti, if you can move to the next one, which is financial services. Yeah, so this one is very again focused to a very specific problem statement, which is more focused on agriculture as of now. So the idea is that agriculture, obviously, as we all know, is one of the backbones of our economy, and the approach to providing loans is still very massively broken, despite so many people, so many banks, NBFCs, as well as startups who have tried to solve this, but they have not been able to really do this in a decentralized peer-to-peer approach. And we believe with an open network, this is something which is very much possible and can really reform the way agriculture, financial services are done. And hence, this is one of those exciting spaces that ONDC can really solve. Again, focusing on these pillars across how do you leverage data related to agriculture, which is able to create a better assessment model, create that kind of a trust which was still not available in this ecosystem and still be a part of the regulatory purview while doing this. So yeah, that's these are the problem statements. I'll also take a minute to also give you a very brief on the kind of solution that is expected. So once you guys are registering for these problem statements and you would have already logged into Hack to Skills portal, uh, while you are filling out your details, there's an option to download a demo presentation, which is the kind of solution that we are expecting from any participant. So broadly, it talks about a few things, which is what we require, which is the introduction of the team or the individual who's working on this specific problem statement. What's the problem statement that they have chosen, and what's the rationale behind it? Like, why did they choose this problem statement? And then there are some specific asks around the solution deep dive. The first one is a major bucket around research and insight, that what was your research process to understand this problem statement in deep? How many stakeholders did you interact with? Who were they? What was the process of interacting with them? How have you defined your ideal customer profile for the solution that you're going after? What are the key insights and learnings from the research that you have done? And what is the expected solution? Then what's the approach that you're going to take? Like basically describing the business model in a few lines, and what's the key value prop for the customer who you're solving this problem for. And then some parts around the monetization, like what's your go-to-market strategy, what's your expected monetization at scale, and how do you look at the market as an overall TAM and the expected revenue pool from the solution approach. And the last one, which is because this is very much focused on uh, folks who are building this as a startup, as a business, we also would love to understand what are the next 6 month goals. Like what is post they have decided that this solution that they're going after, what are their goals with respect to, let's say, reaching to a specific number of customers, number of partners, maybe expected revenue, or number of cities or segments or verticals that they want to tap into. So this all of this is already available in the portal when you are applying and submitting your solution. So you should be able to see that presentation which you can use for all of this. But just wanted to give you a brief of what is expected.
Super. I think that's with the
Awesome.
president. Back to you, Shweta.
Thank you so much, Sushmit, and thank you so much, Ritik, for that quick brief. Uh, and thank you for covering all the problem statements and also especially the submission presentation piece. So to add up to that, so once you register, you land onto a Hack to Skill dashboard wherein you see the description about the problem statements, and you see different tabs about submissions, resources, Discord channel, so on and so forth. On the on your dashboard, on your personal dashboard itself, there is a presentation template which you can download. Right. So that presentation templates hold on information that Ritik just spoke about. And while you make your own solution submissions, you can use those headers, pointers, which you need to necessarily cover in your solutioning part. So that's great to add up to that. So let's just head towards a couple of questions I can see running down in the chat, and maybe we can open up the mic for a couple of minutes for people to ask questions. So we'll pick up one after another if people want to straightforwardly ask you questions. I can see a lot of hand raised already down there in the line. So we'll pick up randomly, and therefore we'll also pick up some questions from the chat so that we can address the chats as well. So before we head towards, let's have conversations. Why don't we start with Kumar Gupta? Also, just to be very precise, let's just stick towards questioning around next gen ventures and about the problem statements, about the solutioning piece of it. Any other questions regarding the hackathon, please write back to us on our respective emails.
All right. Hi, Shakti. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Kumar.
Hi.
Please go ahead.
So, my question is regarding, like, I want to speak to the Antler guys. And I've seen that they have already invested in companies who are building inventory and billing softwares. So,
Mhm.
if a new startup who is in this domain and is part of Build for Bharat, like they're doing part of this hackathon and everything, will they be still investing in those companies since they already have those companies in their portfolio?
Why don't Ritik and Sushmit take up this question?
No, I'm not sure which company you're referring to. But
Uh, Vyapar app.
oh no, no, Vyapar is not our investment.
Okay.
Vyapar is investment of one of our partners, so don't worry.
Okay.
But we have a
Okay.
but it's a good question. We'll tell you what
Yeah.
policy we have at Antler. If we have invested in company A, and
Hmm.
let's say a company B comes building something very similar, we have
Hmm.
a 6-month cooling off period, right? Which is after the money goes in, we will not invest in anything similar to that for 6 months. Post that,
Okay.
we can invest.
Got it. Got it.
Cool? Is that
All
fair?
right. Yeah. 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 That's fair. That's fair. Thank you so
All
much.
right. Thanks.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Maybe let's just go ahead with delivery on time, dot delivery on time.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hi.
hi, Shaktiji. Thank you so much. Well, I did not mention my name because my name is delivery on time is very important in my name. So that's why I mentioned my brand name. So, well, delivery on time, we are a startup in Kolkata-based company. Okay. So the what ONDC is thinking, I thought I started in 2020 when the lockdown started. Okay. So what the customer facing the charges what Swiggy, Zomato, they are taking commission from the merchant. All right. So in Kolkata, we have started in 2021 our application delivery on time. There we don't charge a single amount from the customer, from the merchant. So we deliver like we with a 0% commission we deliver their product in Kolkata. So B2 and B2C right now we have in Bangalore, Mumbai, and Delhi also. So with around 45,000 bikers, petrol bikers we have, and in Kolkata,
Well,
100,
can you please
100.
ask the question? Sorry, I like this is unfortunately this is not a marketing pitch.
All right, all right. So I'm
Please,
talking the problem. The problem I'm talking about the commission from the merchant what Swiggy, Zomato they are taking. So that's why ONDC come and they have to reduce the commission charge from the merchant. So therefore, customer can buy a product less what Swiggy and Zomato selling like one plate biryani they are selling in 200 rupees. So they will get the same biryani price in ONDC like 180 or 150. Then the customer will come. That's the problem what I'm talking about.
Okay, we did not get your question. Can you just
I
forward the
think
question?
it's a general one. I think the network.
Ji, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm just a just a school dropout entrepreneur. Okay, so even I can't pronounce the better entrepreneur name. So, but what I from my practical experience from my life, what I learned that customer always looking for the better option.
Correct.
Right.
Thanks. I think we took the feedback. I think we can really
So that's what I my as a entrepreneur that what problem since like last 3 years we are solving. The customer wants the especially for the restaurant they want.
Sorry to interrupt. Sorry to interrupt you
All right.
in between.
All
Can
right.
yeah, sure. We cannot pitch. We cannot
Yeah, sure, sure, sure.
take that. Sure. No worries. Thank you so much
Yeah,
for addressing that.
thank you so much.
Yep. Can we have next is Piratosh Singh?
Yeah, hi.
Yeah.
So my question was around how data as service, products will can position themselves on ONDC. As more specifically, I feel as the network grows with sellers and buyers, all of them coming together on ONDC, there will be a lot of insights to unlock, valuable insights to unlock with data collaboration between them. I'm comparing this with the Flipkart and the Amazon model where, buyers and sellers are all inside the same, house, in the same house, in the same infrastructure. So this is not a challenge, right? Data collaboration is not a challenge. One team can simply go to the other team and get the data and so on, right? What would that sort of look like on ONDC? Does Antler have, a kind of view on that? It's not very clear in terms of ONDC participant tiers as well. I mean, if I'm a seller, I can be a seller. If I'm a buyer, I can be a buyer on ONDC. It's not very clear what data as a service looks like on ONDC in a distributed model. So that's my question.
Yeah, Ritush, I think to your question, see, uh, first of all, honestly, even in a Amazon and Flipkart like of a model, sharing of data is still not very easy. That's why we have so many customer data platform
Right.
tools which are available in the market. We are even extracting data from them and sharing it across multiple teams and really using it, analyzing it has been a big challenge.
Uh-huh.
I have seen so many companies who are even building this in a centralized approach.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to a decentralized approach where data is scattered across so many participants,
Yeah.
transactions across everything else, I think it's going to be even a much more bigger and an interesting problem to solve.
Mhm.
The way it will position itself is, let's say someone will register themselves as a technical service provider, as a TSP on the network,
Okay.
and they can be focused on, let's say, a buyer side TSP or a seller side TSP, depending on the kind of data that you want to service and kind of analytics or the recommendations or that you want to provide. So that is what it would be majorly focused on. And then I think you would be probably, let's say, if you have registered, you will be working with multiple buyer apps for that matter. For example, let's say if you're going as the buyer side DSP, and then probably you will integrate with them and give them that kind of a service as a software where you will be running those recommendations, analytics uh, in a in a decentralized manner for multiple buyer apps. Probably that's the way it's gonna plan out.
Right, right. Okay, that does clarify it for me. The reason I came up with this question was because while doing our exploration around this in ONDC, we realized ONDC. I mean, you have to extract data out of ONDC to do data analytics. So is ONDC even the right place to do all of this? We kept running into that questions, but thank you. We'll continue to dig further.
All right, thanks.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. Umang, if you can go ahead.
Thanks, Shakti. Hi, Sushmita and Ritik. With reference to fintech problem statement, I just wanted to check specifically beyond agri and rural. Is there any scope to build and solve? And can you get into more detail? And specifically to fintech, how we can leverage with the ONDC piece? If you can throw some light there.
So as I said right at the beginning, right, these 7 problem statements are not a line in the sand. They're just what we and ONDC as a team came up with. This is, I would say, not even 1% of what all that can be done on ONDC. So, if you want to use ONDC FS and go and do something else, I mean, more than happy to support you in that journey as well. But for Build for Bharat,
Yeah, build for that.
for Build for Bharat, we're just focusing on one of the problem statements within ONDC FS, which is agri, right? That's it. I mean, frankly, the way ONDC FS is set up, if you can build something for agri, which is probably the most difficult consumer set in India when it comes to lending, you can probably build it for anyone else, frankly.
Yeah.
That's the way to think about it.
But separately, Umang, obviously, you can always reach out to folks in the ONDC team and work on ONDC FS, not just from a build for Bharat perspective. You can apply to our community, the ONDC community that we run, where you can always collaborate with like-minded people from the ecosystem who are working on ONDC specifically around FS, and then obviously, as you are already part of the funnel for the residency program that we are running, you can directly apply for that. But from a build for Bharat perspective,
It's compulsorily agree.
yes, agri and rural.
Thanks. Thanks for the insight. Helpful.
Yeah.
Over to you, Shakti.
All right. So, yeah, thank you. Thank you for putting that across. Going ahead with next is Gaurav Patra, if you can go ahead. Gaurav, are you there with us?
Audible?
Yeah, Gaurav, let's go.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
So my question too is around the data as a service problem statement. I think as discussed earlier around, as Paritosh asked, my question will be an extension to what he already asked. So what we are trying to understand is, what level of data should we expect from the NPs or the sellers which would be operating on the ONDC? Should we be expecting some restricted kind of data, or every kind of data can be accessed? Like, for example, will it be only a transaction based data, transaction catalog, logistics kind of data, or maybe we would be able to access some personalized sort of data as well, or will we be given access to that as well?
So just, I think, just to clarify on what we are meaning by data as a service. See, one of the challenges with with any protocol for that matter is, the custodian of the protocol is ONDC, right? Or backend. They don't have visibility into the data, right? They're just a facilitator. Please remember that. Okay. So unlike what Paritosh said, as an Amazon has visibility into the data. Now, whether they make great use of it or not, that's a different business question, but they have visibility into the data, right?
Yes.
Now, at ONDC, nobody has visibility into the data, right? Or nobody should have visibility into the data. So what is data as a service? There is terabytes of data that is going to happen on ONDC, right? How do you create a data exchange, or how do you think about a data exchange, which can happen securely, privately, trustworthily between NPs, correct? That's really what the first step of data as a service, correct?
Okay.
Now, obviously, the most important things in these are privacy, security, right? Because you're actually you're taking a data that is, as owned by everybody and moving it around. So I think that's really what data as a service. You have to actually take one step back and think about data on a protocol, than to start from, let's say, step 2 or step 3, what we are used to in most of the platform economies. That is one aspect of it. The second aspect of it is, how do you make network observability as a service as well, right? That is also a challenge. So these are the two big, I would say, questions. If Vipul is there, if he wants to add, or Ritik wants to add. Yeah. Cool. Let's go. I hope that answers the question, man.
I think it does. Sushmit,
it is a little, I would say, not as crystal clear as cataloging or reverse logistics, obviously, because this requires a different way to think altogether. It's almost like first you start with the design, right? And then think of the solution. So think about like that. I mean, I will give you one of the things that we were thinking about is, how does the account aggregator framework work on this, right? So maybe, go and look up that, see how they are moving data, what is the kind of validation, what is the kind of, because that is also, account aggregator is moving data. Account aggregator is no one, or Sahmati is a no one. They're just a facilitator, but they're able to move data between similar participants, right? So maybe that is one lead where you can go and check out as to what are the protocol rules that they are using.
Okay. Because Susmit, that's where our I would say observation or our assumptions are, because we are also not able to really have that clarity that what level of data would really be available for us to go ahead and build anything on top of that data, right? So we just wanted to be sure that what exactly we should expect once we build a solution on this, so that we can kind of give that a better output, or give a better solution once we understand that what level of data will be provided to us.
Sure.
But nonetheless, maybe I think you were mentioning some other forums or something where we can kind of have more clarity on.
Yeah. So we have a community. Maybe Ritik, you can just drop the link to join the community as well.
Yeah.
There we have people from ONDC, backend, a lot of people who kind of can answer these questions in a more closed environment.
Yes, 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 yes.
Done.
That would help. That would help.
Yeah, Ritik will drop the link on the chat window. All right.
Fair. Thank you.
So much
Thank you.
for a
Thank you. Thank
great
you.
question, man.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much. So we'd just like to call upon next is Aarti Nyadish. Aarti, are you there with us?
Hey, hi Shakti, I'm here. So,
Hi,
my
Aarti. Yeah.
okay. So my question is regarding again, the whole network observability piece, right? Because I'm a part of eSamuday, which has been building for ONDC for the past 2-3 years, and what we've observed is for every solution which needs to be built, especially if it involves the larger audience, right? If it involves different seller network participants, we have to have a buy-in from ONDC, right? So something like a network observability or data as a service needs some very key thing like a merchant unique ID, right? And merchant unique ID does not exist on ONDC at this point. So what are you guys doing at Antler or as a Build for Bharat initiative to get that buy-in from ONDC for the startups as well, right? Because that is going to be required since ONDC is laying out the governance policies as well.
I think it's a great question. May not be right for this forum, but I think Ritik, this is maybe Aarti, if you can connect with us offline.
Okay.
We will take this. You can reach out to us on LinkedIn, and we'll connect with you. And we will take your inputs in more detail and discuss it with ONDC as well. Is that okay with you?
Sure, Smith. Works.
Thank you so much, Aarti.
Thanks, man.
Thank you so much, Aarti. Yeah, Ankit Loya, if you can have your question.
Yeah, thank you. So actually, my question was mostly around like, so I'm a professional and I wanted to do a POC for the hackathon. So if let's say I want to connect to the network and download transaction logs, etc., how can I do that without registering a company? Is there a way that the Build for Bharat can help with? Can they provide any mechanism?
No. Because see, one thing that we're very clear, at least for next gen ventures, we want people who want to build out a company in one of these 7 areas, right? Because as you can see, these are extremely large problems, and if you solve them, we believe it's worth doing a business for many years to come. So if you want to continue working, and if you believe that so either you're working in a company which will, let's say, you do the POC, the company, if you're successful, the company actually implements this or makes this a line of business, then you can apply accordingly. But if you believe that you'll just do a POC, but you're unlikely to start a company, then maybe these 7 problem statements may not be right. There are other problem statements that you could look at in Build for Bharat in this series.
I mean, even for checking if what I'm thinking is right or not, I need a company for that, right?
No, you don't need a company. You can apply, right? You can apply. You can tell us what you want to do. And let's say, we think that this has merit and you can move to the next round. If you, I'm saying basically before you get the equity free grant, you should be ready to quit, or you should have put in your papers, or you should be, you should have a permission from the company saying that, yes, this person is working on this project. And if they win it, they can implement this in the company.
Yeah, I get your point. Actually, that is not the problem. For example, let me take data as a service. In order to know the use cases of data as a service, I need to first get what all data is there in the ONDC, and it's not very clear in the internet.
Yeah, so Ankit, we are going back to this same question. This is the 4th question in a row. All I can tell you is let us talk to ONDC and give you more clarity. But I just want to lay the form factor of what it means in terms of trying to, what do we expect of people who win the next gen ventures? We will get back to you a little more detailing on what data as a service, what data is accessible. See, again, please remember, Ankit, even if you develop, please, I mean, one thing I don't think it's coming across, that even if you do or build the data as a service, you will never be able to see the data. Correct?
Yeah.
You can only facilitate the data exchange. Correct?
Yeah. So actually, I was thinking more of on the analytics side.
No. You see, please understand. That's what I'm trying to say. I think there's some confusion. Uh, what are we looking for is someone to set up a system whereby which the NPs can look at the data. You cannot look at the data. If ONDC cannot look at the data, how can someone look at the data, right? Only that respective person. So for example, let's say I'm a seller app. I want to know about the buyer. Is there a logic or a way to make this happen between the seller app and the buyer without you looking at the data? Correct?
Yeah.
Now, when the data comes to the buyer app or the seller app, you work on an analytics on top of that with that NP. That is a different service. Correct? But data as a service doesn't mean that you will get access to the protocol data.
Got it.
Got it. So for example, if you look at the account aggregator, again, simple example, the account aggregator, let's say with scams, they do not see the data, right? It is between the customer and the bank. They provide the technology and the framework for the data exchange.
I think the question is more on like not the exact information, rather like what are the types of information, say like name, phone number, email ID. These are the data types kind of thing. And the data is like, say, Sumit is my name. So they don't get access to my name, but the name information, like what are the informations available on ONDC? That is the question I think he was asking.
Got it. No, we'll get back to on what all the information as an observability will be made available by ONDC.
Yes.
But I just want to make clear that we are not expecting or we don't think that data analytics of ONDC data is not there, right? That doesn't exist as a concept. You can do analytics for an NP who gets the data. What we are planning, what we are saying in this problem statement is how do you build that data as a service, which is nothing but a framework, a technology for data exchange to happen between two NPs without you having a peek into the data.
Got it.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for addressing that, Sushmit.
Yeah.
Can we come up next is Nitish Thakur. Nitish, if you're there.
Hello, hi. My question is to Sumit. So we are a agri fintech startup working with the farmers providing agriculture input on credit, and we are planning to submit our solution under the financial services
Yeah.
segment. Now you said like the terms of the investment is like 250K
Yeah.
for 9%. So the startups like us which have raised, let's say, an angel round or a first round of investment, and where these terms will be kind of a down round for the earlier investor. So like a mature kind of a startup, or not mature, but a startup which have already raised fund, they are not eligible for this.
No. I mean, you're more than eligible to participate in this. You may not need a 250K then. Right? So, I mean, let's put it this way that, we also expect teams from established companies to come and participate in this. If they win, they will develop the solution, implement it within that company, right? And see, we will offer you 250K at 9% because that is our global standard. You can decide not to take it. That's completely fine, right?
Okay.
If you win it, you will definitely get the 30 lakhs. You will definitely get 100K. You will get our mentorship and all that, right? You can also say, I don't want the equity free grant. I mean, I don't know why you will say that, but you may say that. So, I mean, these are all what we want to offer. What you want to take is in completely up to you.
Yeah. So okay, so Antler doesn't have like Antler only invest in this early stage company or first round of investment, but they are not in, or maybe for this specific program that is not.
No, we only do first stage. We only do second stage for a company that we've invested in the first stage.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. That's.
Hello everyone. Am I audible to you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first of all, we are the professional with the four members of teams, and we are tackling the problem statement that is onboarding sellers and digitizing catalog. Already, we have done 80% of work, so we are providing with while sign up pages, the user can provide the voice inputs, and it can be automatically extract the text and also automatic verification in KYC, and also vernacular support also we are providing side by side, and also user can upload the PDF formats of their data like the
Kiran,
item category.
What's the
Kiran,
question?
this is great. What's the question?
No, we are going this way, so is it a correct way or exactly what
Yeah, please
I'm
apply. This is I mean, this looks like the correct way.
yeah.
Please do apply. The presentation link is there. Please do fill in and send it back to us, and we will get back to you soon.
Where is the presentation link?
It's on the
Ritik,
dashboard.
drop
It's
it
on
in
the
the chat
dashboard.
window. Yeah.
Could you anyone can resend it so I can check with that, please?
Uh, so if you log into Hacktoskill's dashboard, you'll be able to find it on
Yeah,
your front.
and also user can have a bunch of data in a PDF format or CSV format. He can upload that format in the item catalog, so that item can extract all the data, so it
Sorry,
automatically
wait.
categorize and all the templates and category wise, which the
Kiran, can you please
example.
hold once? So is that something related to the question, or is that something that you're getting confirmation on?
No. Exactly, we are going in this way. So exactly, I don't have any
Means we
question, but
cannot we cannot pitch in things here. It's
no.
just you can ask
No.
questions. Yeah.
Yeah. We are going in the right way, right path, or what exactly?
Yeah,
I just want to.
Kiran, please do take care. I mean, please do fill in the presentation and send. See, it's very difficult for us to do without your
Yeah.
video being on, without seeing anything what you have built. Very difficult for us to say anything.
Yeah.
So why don't you fill in your details and please give us some time to think about. We are not some AI geniuses sitting here who can give you an answer.
Okay.
10
No
minutes
problem.
after 1 minute of your explaining.
Yeah.
We will take time. We will see through what you have done and we will write back to you.
Yeah. Please, could you, send me the link so I
So
can.
please go to the website. Yeah, Kiran, there is a
Yeah.
link. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
What is the exactly link?
Sir, build.
You must have registered, right, on the
Yeah,
on
I
the
have
portal.
registered. Yeah, I have
Yeah. So
registered.
just log into that portal. You'll be able to find it.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Kiran. Love your enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Uh, so we are already running out of time here, Sushmit, Ritik.
Let's take the
So we'll
question.
pick up.
Let's finish. Let's take the questions. Let's not leave any questions.
Yeah. So we've got a lot of hand raise already there.
Yeah,
Maybe we can take up with Prakash
yeah,
if you're
let's
there.
go.
And quickly, let's just stick to the questions, guys, so that we can cover everybody's questions.
Yeah, hi, thank you. Hi
Yeah.
everyone, thank
Please
you
go
for
ahead.
that. Also, quickly to my question, actually, I have not heard from anybody else taking up reverse logistics. So I am working on reverse logistics. So my question is very plain and simple that what is the expectation? What is the expectation of the output of this competition? Basically, you are expecting only data to be updated into the deck that you have provided, or you are also expecting some kind of prototype.
Yeah.
So
So
deck is bare minimum. Uh, I mean, if you start working on prototype, no harm. But deck is bare minimum. We'll have a jury. It's a three-step process. But let's start with the deck, and we will get back to you once you submit the deck.
Okay, and sorry, but can I ask one more question? So in the deck, what would be the top three things that you would be looking at in terms of deck?
so the deck already, like if you go to the portal, you will see there are
Yeah, I have gone through the deck, but I mean, if you are making that deck, right, what would be the top three things that you will be doing, focusing on?
see the weightage probably is around mostly equal across all the things. But if you were to ask me personally, I would say that focus a lot on, let's say, the research and the insight part. Like what is the research that you have done overall to understand the problem statement, and what's the
Okay,
insights that you have derived from your research. And that would reflect in the solution approach. That how are you approaching the solution, and what's
okay,
the viability of the model in terms of a venture fundability. So that's the most important thing apart from the team.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Ved. Requesting everyone who has already asked questions to kindly raise down their hand so that we can go ahead. Arya, if you can do that from the back end, would also be great. So, Rajan Gupta, if you're there.
Yeah.
Rajan?
So my question is, what is the weightage on execution of the team? So like I may have a good product, but I don't have experience with execution, or like I don't have the capability of executing it into the scale what you are expecting. So like will Antler be helping in that, or like should I bring some business guy with me to build the product?
So, Rajan, we will judge how much you want to do this. And if you really want to do this, you will get you will do whatever it takes to start it off. But we will help you as much as we can. But we will first look at your passion, your need, your solution quality, and then we can help you with anybody. Yeah.
Yeah, just to add to this, I would say that if Antler has invested in Antler India has invested in more than 15 or 20 odd founders who are actually very young, which do not have professional experience, not a lot of professional experience, have not really achieved a lot of things the way typically how people look at venture funded startups. So it's not something that is a requirement, but it's as more like what Sushmit said, that your hustle, your deep understanding of the market, and your speed are some of the things that are also a proxy of how we look at founders or people who are starting out.
Okay. Next question, please. People who, if I may request people, anybody whose questions are answered, please do down your hands. Yeah.
Yeah. Can we have Sumit? Sumit Kar?
Sumit, we have done, but you have a question.
I have a question. So I'm working on a healthcare product, and like ONDC digital cataloging is a part of it actually. So this solution can be used across like groceries and like other sectors as well. So do we present it based on the medicine sector what we are doing, or like we do it like across different sectors? We do a generic solution. This is one question. And
Sumit, you can start with the medical sector, and obviously our next question will be how will you scale this to grocery? So you can be ready with both. Yeah.
Okay, and another thing is say like we are not providing any discount at the moment in this ONDC framework, right? So how do we plan to scale up these things? Like because other platforms they provide like deep discounting and all. Say like say Amazon and like Tata 1mg, Netmeds, this kind of people they provide discounts. So is discounting applicable on ONDC as well, or like?
No, I think this is not a question relevant for this. This is a question. I mean, much later. You can answer this question much later. Don't worry about that. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Thank you. That's all.
All right, thank you, Sumit. Sachin, can we have you your question?
Yeah, I have a question related to solution submission. I saw that on the dashboard there is a form and submit button. Is that the final submit, or on the next page I need to submit the artifacts and all? So
No, on the dashboard, I'll take up that question. So on the dashboard itself, you can see a submissions tab, right?
Right.
So on the submissions tab itself, you need to submit the required field, which you can see, right? And in terms of template, you can find the template on the dashboard itself. You can download that template. You can use it to fill in your information, and you can upload it on the submissions button itself.
So
That's it.
that will
That's
be the
about it.
next page, or that is the
No,
final.
it'll happen on the same page itself. And also,
Okay.
once you are done submissions, we'll take it forward from there, and we'll get back to you if something is going ahead.
And if we submit before deadline, can we also update in the
Yes,
meantime?
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
You can click on the same button, update now. You can re-update the thing. It'll append the previous solution, and then we'll have your latest one.
Okay. Thank you.
And number of times you can do it before the submission time ends.
Cool.
Got it.
Did we take the question from Shobit?
Yeah, hi. My question is around specifically around the problem statement, order management and inventory management for grocery. Now, my startup is doing order management and inventory management, not for the grocery, but for the services. Uh,
Rohit, at least I have lost your voice. I'm not sure if
Yeah, we can't hear you.
Yeah, sorry. So my question is, my startup is doing order and inventory management for the services, not for the grocery. So am I still eligible to apply for this?
No, you have to solve for grocery.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. So in that case, my startup is not eligible. All right, no problem. Thanks.
Sorry. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Robert. Sachin, are you there with us?
I think Sachin is done.
Maybe Akash.
Just request everyone, if you have already done your question, kindly raise down your hands. You can take up the questions. Vandana, Sony, if you're there with us.
Yes, yes. Hello, everyone.
Yeah,
So currently, I am working on personalized experience to customer, and in order to create a personalized recommendation system, we create some backend solution where we implement some AI/ML model as well as some queries and all. So my question, some of my question are a bit technical. So is it okay to ask here, or should I mail it to somewhere? And
Hey, Akash, it would be great if you can send me an email on the requested emails on the platform which is there, so that I can take it up from there if it's into deep tech.
okay, sure.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, Balaji, can you?
Hello, sir. So I'm currently working on the reverse logistics problem. So right now I'm a BTech student from NIT Trichy. So we have a startup, but that's not we have not went live right now. But we have registered our startup. So are we eligible to participate in this?
Which year are you in, Balaji?
Third year.
If you get this, will you drop out?
Yeah.
Everybody says yeah. So anyway, you can decide that. Basically, I will leave it to you for you to decide. But please remember, this is something which is very, very serious. If you come towards the last stage, you have to commit to this, because we strongly believe at Antler and at ONDC that this is something that is worth building a company for. Yeah. So please remember that. Be honest to the to this cause that we are getting out. This is a decision that you have to take, please.
Yeah.
Please don't.
So,
please ask your parents.
Yeah. So, sir, we are eligible, right?
Yeah. But, yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay, we'll take up our last question maybe for the day, and maybe rest of us can write back. It's just due to time shortage. Vandana, can you please go ahead?
Yeah, sure, sir. Yeah, I just want to check, like, are you building the solution for only online e-commerce, or is it also for like Kirana stores? Like, I'm not sure about the entire context of ONDC, but just asking, like, the solution is only specific to online?
It's not. No. It's for Kirana. Kirana becoming online. Yeah.
Okay, got it. And regarding building the POC, do we have support from Google Cloud resources to build the POC?
Yeah.
Okay. And regarding this company question already, but I don't have any plan to start a company, but still I can submit the solution, right, for this deck, like track basically.
Yeah, you can. You may not get selected.
Okay.
Though.
Okay, but I think the first part is not applicable, right? Which you said, the grant, but the second and third, the support from Google for the building the POC.
No. You will not get any of those if you don't get selected, if you don't want to start a company.
Okay, then, okay, fine. And last thing is about the impact numbers, right? Which we might be collecting. So that might not be that accurate. So is that fine of the solution?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, thanks. Thank you.
Great.
Awesome.
Hello, Sumit. Shakti or Sumit. I'm just landed on the login page of Hack to Scale, but I have not seen there is a page You need to submit form or something over there here.
Uh, Sorry, Kiran, can you
Kiran,
connect
it's only
to
for
us offline once?
Bharat.net, Kiran. Kiran, please go
You
to the chat, Kiran, please. We are requesting you to go through the chat. It's not fair on the other participants, right?
okay. Sorry
Hello.
for the inconvenience caused. Okay.
Sure.
Hello,
So you
hello,
can connect to
Susmit.
us offline as well. Guys,
Uh,
please hold on. We'll sequence it once.
can I ask a small question? It will be a legal question. I was about to ask in the chat, but Ritik and Susmit didn't saw that. Just a
All
small
right. So,
question.
yeah, please go ahead.
Hi, Susmit. Hi, Ritik. I have a small question. Like we have been building data as a service platform, and we have been planning for the next 6 months plan, and we are facing a legal checks challenge. Like we want to like ONDC will be going to do the legal checks, or there will be a separate jurisdiction like DPDP Act or something like that, who is going to checks on the data is not like encrypted or its privacy is secured or not. These type of things.
Yeah, it'll be the actor. ONDC doesn't have any. ONDC is just please remember, it's a name of the protocol.
Okay,
It's a
fine.
non-profit organization.
Okay, fine. Thanks.
Yeah.
Just a small question. I just wanted to ask you. So, on the personalized experience part, so does it also include factors like usability? No, so the experience could be a little bit different for someone who, let's say, cannot read, versus, let's say, someone who is speaking vernacular languages. Hello, can you hear me?
You know, it's an interesting question, Sumit. You can go ahead and explore that. See, again, we have kept it a little bit open-ended so that you can imagine this. We don't want to imagine it, right? Because we cannot imagine. Like, for example, now that you said for vernacular, visually impaired, I didn't even think of it. Now you brought it up, right? So it's very powerful. That's why you should build. See, this is a protocol, right? Nobody told Instagram should build Instagram, right? Think of it like that.
Yeah.
Correct. So go ahead and explore and build.
Yeah. So that is eligible. So that's my question.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Thanks a lot.
Cool. All right.
All right. Guys, sorry for the inconvenience, but due to time shortage, we cannot take up more questions from here onwards. I see a lot of interest coming in, a lot of questions. A lot of people are very enthusiastic asking questions and finding out the right answer towards it, because they got to interact with the Antler team for the first time, maybe. So you guys can send out questions to us. Maybe we'll take it up from there and we'll send it across to Antler team and get your questions answered. But for today, we will unfortunately will not be able to take more questions from here onwards. But thank you so much for joining us today here, and it was a pleasure having all of you together. And thank you so much, Ritik. Thank you so much, Sushmit, for being there with us. So not just that, you can see on my screen as well. That's what the overall segment holds towards, which already has been explained by Sushmit. Right? That's what you'll get out of when you build out solutions. It is just not restricted to this. There are a lot more opportunities holding ahead about the solution. So before we wrap up the solution, anything that Sushmit, I think you want to add towards it, and so that we can move ahead.
I think nothing. I mean, keep the questions coming. You can reach out to us. We are quite accessible. Please reach out to us. And if you believe that we need a little bit more, we need to give you more clarity on a few things. We will work with ONDC on that. So all the best. Please think of this as guardrails. One, not the beginning and the end. Second, this is something we build a company on.
Yeah, I'll also just say do check out Build on ONDC and Antler India's website if you are interested to know more about the residency program that we run. And Build on ONDC is something that we run as a separate website where we have curated a lot of content around ONDC and DPI. If that's just something that you want to just deep dive more about, just do check it out. And there's a link to apply to our community where you can get access to more such like-minded founders or ONDC enthusiasts, as well as people from ONDC team who you can speak to through that community. So do check that out.
Bye-bye. Have a great week ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Great. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for being there with us. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today on this great session. And we look forward to your innovative solutions and business ideas coming forward.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much.